And you're welcome back, and I am absolutely excited to be the one having this final interview today with none other than Collins Ifeanyi Onwuneme Ajere Enebeli. He's popularly known as Mavin Grandpa for a reason. He is the president of Artist Managers Association in Nigeria, and he joins us today for a conversation on this and much more. Most of you might also know him as the father of the one and only Don Jazzy. You are welcome, Mavin Grandpa. Good to have you here. Fantastic.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I can't tell you how excited I am that you're here and that I'm the one who's actually having this conversation with you. As we were having the pre-conversation or pre-interview right there, and I was like, I feel like I'm talking to somebody who, understands everything the way I do.
Really?
Yes. It doesn't seem like you are from an older generation. It seems like you're my generation. So I feel uncomfortable calling you Mavin Grandpa. Let me put it that way. Well, good to have you here, sir.
Thank you very much.
Now, it's impossible to separate the fact that your son is Don Jazzy. So some of the questions I might be asking would be about Don Jazzy. But you've been in the business for such a long time, and you've maintained a very, I don't know how to put it, consistent yet under the radar type appearance when it comes to your achievements in the entertainment industry. How far back have you been in the entertainment industry and the likes?
Yeah, talking about being in the entertainment industry, that dates back quite long to the very early 70s, so to say.
Wow.
And the interest was born out of a passion I've always had from childhood, because I come from a family that has a deep interest in music. My late father was into music of some sort. He played the organ and the grand piano in the Trinity Cathedral in Onitsha.
The big symphonic one with the pipes.
In the Trinity Cathedral in Onitsha, way back in the colonial empire days.
Wow.
And also he led the band, the brigade, those people that throw their stick and lead the band. So that was the sort of musical background. And my mom was a passionate singer, a chorister, and spent most of her time getting familiar with songs that made great impact globally. And she's a fan of record songbooks, where you have all sorts of songs from across the world arranged in alphabetical order. And
there was no gainsaying that you were going to turn out so, and that you were also going to pass that passion to your son.
Yeah,
Don Jazzy, we
love that background.
I saw a video of him performing to Blackie's Will You Have a Dance when he was a kid. Now I'm assuming that you were somewhere in the background there.
Of course, I made that happen. I put it together. It was during the birthday party of the prince, my last son. And being that I had already developed the interest of wanting them to have a real-time artist live audience experience, I started him early performing in occasions like that. That wasn't the only occasion I performed, but the particular one that I put out in the social media was the one of the prince's birthday when I had him perform with a live band.
Wow.
I got it recorded.
That is fantastic. So it's safe to say that you've had a very big influence on the Nigerian music scene, even as it is now when it comes to afrobeats and the rest, because Don Jazzy himself was quite pivotal in how music shifted in Nigeria, for Nigerians, for Afrobeat itself, to the rest of the world. So that was intentional. And that was pretty much by you. Let's put it so.
No, not necessarily. Everyone have their calling and have what they are bringing to the table. Besides, I have my reservation about the Afrobeats genre description.
Hear it, please?
Yes, I do, because I sort of think that description of that genre is a little bit suspect, as long as I understand it. I know of Afrobeat, which originally was created by Fela. And I failed to get my head around people trying to pluralize a genre by adding an X and boxing everything that is Afrocentric into a genre that they wanted to create. I didn't like it, but those who came up with that narrative, they had their agenda, and I had to probe to know why it was so.
So I understand that, and I also feel the same way. See what I say when I say we perhaps maybe like are from the same generation? Winfrey's going to say I'm old now, but there's an even older argument regarding Afrobeat. Now, whether Afrobeat is actually Nigerian, because it was Fela Kuti, was Zil Onya, but they were in Ghana.
Yeah, there was a reason for that. Yeah, at the time, high life music was a popular music that the Ghanaians had claim of being the pioneers of high life music. And for you to be accepted as a high life artist, you need to play high life in Ghana. So it was like going on pilgrimage, musical pilgrimage.
Exactly.
So if you do not go to Ghana to play high life music, they don't recognize you as a high life artist. And most of these artists you mentioned, they had high life background, Fela inclusive, Victor Wifo, Zilonia, Ian Henshaw, Bobby Benson,
Exactly.
Victor Laya.
I always like to always mention Zil Onya because he was very, very, very important. Winfrey, do you know Zil Onya? Do you know Zil? You got? They don't know Zil Onya.
I know him.
In any case, you're also the artist managers, president of the Artist Managers Association of Nigeria.
In Nigeria, not of Nigeria.
In Nigeria.
Yeah.
What's the difference there? A difference there?
Yeah, there is a difference. If you of Nigeria, you are domiciled only dealing with Nigeria.
Oh, okay.
But when you say in Nigeria, you have affiliates around the world because there's always going to be a synergy between those practicing artist management in Nigeria and those around the world. And we had always known there will be a time we'll have a need for artists to be performing around the world. So you need international plugs here and there, people carrying out one form or the other type of intermediary services. They're all managers, and you need to have them in groups and have this connection to make things flawless, and that's why you see things happening the way it is now.
Wow. First off, I congratulate you because it can't be easy being president of that kind of an association. Noting that the people spread across the generations who might not understand why certain principles or policies might be the way they are, or those who are operating outside of the body. How do you deal with all of these different preferences?
Yeah, it had always been known because one of the things that people do say about the music industry not moving as progressively enough as they thought it would be, they always hinge their argument on the fact that they said there are no structures. And I keep asking them, if you say there are no structures, who do you look up to build the structures?
Exactly.
You have to be the change that you want to see by participating and being part of those to build that structure. And that was why intentionally, when we set up the organization, we had different programs that will help inculcate the kind of knowledge that we expect our members to have to be eventually validated as competent managers. And by that, we do have programs such as in-house orientation masterclasses that focus on different aspects of artist management culture, including strategies to adopt to carry out the business.
Wow.
So,
You've got a lot of work on your hands.
not only my hands, there are other professionals who are there
Leading that organization.
because I know what we ought to do, and you lead by example by showing the way, and you have to do it from a knowledge-driven point of view and not
Very
being a charlatan.
experienced.
Yes.
Fantastic. Let's come back and talk about Don Jazzy. Very reserved person. Is Don Jazzy married?
Yeah, he was married.
He was married.
Yes.
Because there was that rumor, but now you're telling us it's not a rumor.
No, he was married.
Whatever happened?
Well, they decided to.
Do you wish that he still was, or do you want him to get back married? What hopes do you have?
That's his choice. The question of marriage is individual choice. There are people who choose marriage, and there are those who don't, and yet have relationships that might blossom into what makes their life complete.
Do you think his choice to stay single has any is a factor to why he's perhaps really good at what he does?
No, I wouldn't say that. He knows best what works for him, and it is good to allow people exercise the flexibility of their line of thought.
Oh, you're very diplomatic.
Sure.
All right, so I'm sure that not everybody knows this, but with all the wealth of knowledge that you have, you're also putting together a memoir or a book, or books is what I hear. What's this experience been like writing these books, and when are we expecting to see and read these fine work?
I know when I started keeping them in different, each dealing with different issues as it concerns my life, but when it is going to be rounded up, I don't know for now, because I haven't placed any timelines on whatever I intend doing, because it is an ongoing thing. However, I've allowed my children to know exactly where it is, and I file them in folders in case of incasity.
Good idea. We don't want to lose all of that information, all of that wealth of knowledge and everything. Mavin, Grandpa, it has been an honor to actually sit on the couch here with you today and have this very grand conversation. Did you want to say something real quick?
Yes, of course.
Please
The AMAN Awards
Oh, yes.
comes up on the 26th of November
The AMAN Awards.
AMAN Awards.
Artist Managers Association of Nigeria.
In Nigeria.
In Nigeria.
In Nigeria, right. We'll be having the maiden edition of the AMAN Awards, which will be one of the awards that I know moving forward will be much sought after within the creative industries. So come 26th of November, which is next Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. It's weekend.
The awards will be taking place at Eco Hotel and Suites, and I hope that those who will experience it will see reason to know that AMAN is here for real.
Knowing that you're behind it, I have no doubts that it's going to be a grand event, and I'm looking forward to it. I hope I get a VVIP table.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much.